Can I help you?
Hi, guys.
The lesson's titled 5.1 West African Culture Daily Life. In this lesson, you guys will learn about daily life, the development of the economy, and the oral tradition in early West Africa. It's the first time we have a podcast for this unit, guys, so we just want you to remember that you will have a podcast quiz following this podcast, most likely tomorrow. Whenever you guys hear this sound, it means that you guys have heard a vocab word. So your terms are kinship, clan, labor specialization, and griot.
All right, you guys, also, we want to remind you that we have a big idea and essential questions for this particular unit. The big idea this go around is rulers have a great impact on their society and leave lasting impressions.
And we have some essential questions as well. The first essential question for this unit: do leaders help or hurt?
Second, do belief systems influence a people's way of life?
The third, do rulers shape present and future civilizations?
How are the culture and traditions of a civilization preserved and spread?
How do communities use their skills and resources to build empires?
And finally, how are lasting effects of rulers reflected in a society? Okay, now we want to make sure you can always have your history book out and open. This lesson you can find from pages 151 to 154. The first section of this lesson today is entitled Village Life in West Africa. Be thinking of this question as you listen to this section. What role did families play in West African society? From 300 to 1500, powerful empires controlled much of West Africa. Most West Africans dealt with their ruler only for court cases and taxes. Many of these people felt a strong loyalty to their village and family.
Family relationships were very important in West Africa. Kinship groups formed the government of many African societies. These groups were equal in power. A council of the kinship group's eldest members often made the decisions. Kinship groups with a common ancestor often formed larger groups called clans. Clan members usually followed the same rules.
In West African villages, the way of life for most people centered on farming. Women prepared food and cared for children. They also made pottery and worked in the fields. Men looked after large animals such as cattle. They also cleared land for farming and built houses and fences. Children often gathered firewood. In addition, they helped their fathers and mothers.
Some people focused on specific types of work, such as farming or trading. This is called labor specialization. Labor specialization led to a diverse West African economy. Most people practiced an economy based on farming. Others focused on herding animals or metalworking. Iron technology allowed Africans to create stronger agricultural tools and weapons. As a result, they became wealthier. Also, their population grew. Finally, some people traded goods with West Africa. They also traded with other regions, such as North Africa. The question you guys should be able to answer in your head right now: what types of work did West Africans specialize in?
All right, moving on to the next section, you guys, on pages 152 and 153. It's called Trade and Regional Commerce. Okay, be thinking about this question as you're listening to this section. How did trading develop in West Africa? By AD 300, population growth and trade had led to the development of West African cities. Gold mining and trade in slaves led to more contact with North Africa. Local and international trade increased. As a result, the cities became more important centers of trade. They also became centers of politics, religion, and education.
Trade between West and North Africa continued to grow. West Africans received salt, cloth, and metalwares from Arab traders. In return, West Africans provided gold, slaves, ivory, and cattle hides.
West African societies gradually developed complex trade systems. Soon, kings arose in West African societies. The king kept trade running smoothly. As a result, many people were loyal to him. In addition, kings often played an important role in religion. They were expected to help the economy by performing prayers and rituals. All right, you guys, you should be able to answer this question right now. What was the relationship between kings and trade in West Africa?
All right, guys, our final section is the oral tradition in West Africa. You can find this on pages 153 and 154, and the question we want you to be thinking about as we're talking about this is, what is oral history? For centuries, West Africans had no written language. Because of this, they did not record their history in a written form. West Africans passed on their history through a collection of stories. These stories were about people and spiritual forces in the natural world. The storytellers were called griots. They often used music in their stories.
The stories entertained and educated. The griots passed on a clan's or kinship group's history. The West Africans, their departed ancestors watched over them. They thought that their ancestors could help the living communicate with the creator of the universe. During religious rituals, West Africans appealed to ancestors for favor and protection. Griots often took part in these rituals.
Griots sang for kings, other powerful people, and common villagers. Griots acted out various characters in the story. The audience often participated. Griots are still an important part of West African culture. The question you guys should be able to answer right now in your head: with no written language, how did early West Africans pass on their history?
Okay, you guys, don't forget that tomorrow there's going to be a podcast quiz. You've got your vocabulary terms, and I'll remind you of them one more time. They are kinship, clan, labor specialization, and griot. Night, night, guys.
Leaving now.